I get asked, so you're better now, right? 6 years later, here's my answer. Cancer doesn't end when they tell you you are clear. There is no more cancerous cells. It doesn't end when that happens. So one of the things, I have things written down. One of the things is your body doesn't just go back to normal. Now, 6 years later, I am not the same. I don't get up the same. I don't process things the same. I don't build muscle the same. I don't lose weight the same. Nothing is the same. My daughter always tells me, "Oh, are you sick, mom? Are you sick? You're always sick." Like she always tells me that, "You're always sick." And I was like, "Well, yeah, I had cancer, right?" She's going through chemo right now, so she understands what that means now, which again is not something that I wanted, but this is where we are. And when I get sick, I don't recover the same way that I used to recover. So, yes, I don't have Hodgkin's lymphoma anymore. My body still recovers a lot different than I did in the past. Another one, early menopause, perimenopause. Now, I learned this one back in, my daughter is now, my youngest one is about to be 4 years old. And I learned this one, and not the best way. They told me when I was going through treatment that menopause was one of the things. And at the time, I have two older children. So I was like, oh, it's okay. It's like a wanted kind of side effect. I'm okay with it because they told me that my eggs were going to be depleted and that I might not be able to conceive, period, after chemotherapy. And I said to myself, well, it's okay because I had two kids and I didn't think a lot of it. And I wasn't planning on having any more children. And then my husband, or my fiance, and I always call him my husband. I met my fiance and we decided that we were going to have another child. And it was just the timing because I was getting my period. My period did come back and I was getting my period. I had no idea that I was losing the amount of eggs at the age of early 30s. And so then I started like skipping my period and getting these hot flashes. And so I went to the doctor to find out where we were at and if we were going to be able to conceive, etc. So when I went, that's when I learned about all of your markers when it comes to like early menopause and hormones, etc. And I've learned way more now because I am fully in menopause. But they said that you're not fully menopause until you have missed your period for a year. I'm not quite there yet, but I have hot flashes again. So back to my daughter. So when we were trying to conceive her, and I went down to a specialist and figure out, they told me that I was not going to be able to get pregnant because I only had one working follicle. And I said, okay, so what are our options? What does that mean? And they said that I was going to have to get like a donor's egg. And of course, that's expensive. That is not cheap, right? And it's not something, again, that I thought about while I was going through treatment. Like, oh, maybe, the way of doing it is like to save my eggs, or maybe it is to go down this path of getting a donor's egg and all this stuff. I didn't know. I didn't know any of it. So when presented with those situation, it was like sitting down with my husband and explaining it to him and looking at the bright side of things and, just trying to make the best out of the situation because I am not perfect, but I'm very strong. And I try to look at the positive of the situation. I was like, well, if we get a donor's egg, then we don't have to worry about cancer, for example. Maybe we can pick the eye color, the hair, or curly, not curly, like whatever we want, like we can pick. And that was me trying to be positive and trying to put that positive mindset onto my husband if we had to go down that path. Thankfully, like I said, my daughter's almost 4 years old. We were not able to, but when I went to the doctor, they were like, oh, because of her age. I was 37 years old, and I went to, thank God, always get second opinions when it comes to medical advice. Always, always, no matter if you like what you're being told, always get a second opinion. It's so important to get a second opinion. Like, I'm gonna die on this hill because they told me that it's because I was 37 and I was old. And then someone else told me it has nothing to do with the age of your eggs. That's not what's happening here. You had cancer. The whole point of this, me sitting down talking about 6 years later, right? I had cancer. So my egg depletion happened more because of cancer. So it's not that my eggs were old and they were going to be defective, etc. It was because I was depleted due to chemotherapy. So once we had our daughter, my period started back up again, and I started having my period regularly. And about, I want to say, in the last 18 months, I lost my period again. I enter perimenopause. I enter menopause again. The hot flashes came. I started skipping my period. It was a nightmare. I learned what hormones are. I learned what hormones are, HRT, hormone replace therapy is. I got on progesterone and estrogen, but I have a history of cancer. Not just that, I have a PLB2 mutation in my genes, which I have a higher chance of getting breast cancer, ovarian cancer, pancreatic cancer. So because of all of that, taking the progesterone is not the best long term. So obviously I have my medical provider that advises me and tells me and helps me with all this stuff. It's a lot to handle and to manage. Again, 6 years later, things still happen. Your body still doesn't recover the same. So I spoke about you can still get pregnant. So even if you are in early menopause, or even if you have gone through chemo, you may still be able to get pregnant. You may not, you may. It depends on where you are, or you just have to talk to a professional about these type of things, because I am not an expert. I'm just sharing my experience and what I have learned through my journey, which has been a lot in this last 6 years. Number 4, the mental shift, controlling your controllables. So there is things, like I said before, a strong, not perfect, of controlling certain things, right? Like, what can I control in this situation? I can control staying positive. I can try to control what I eat, what I consume, what I don't consume, try to get, my water intake in. Like, there's just some things, and trying to go to the gym and trying to stay active as much as I can, even if I'm not having a good day today and I have to lay down all day, or I'm taking down because I got a cold and I take it harder than other people. I have migraines, so I have to chill for a bit longer than it would take someone else to be able to bounce back. I just don't bounce back like I used to. Again, chemo, age, all of those things combined, it's not the easiest, but I still try to. The sun is shining. I'm going to try to get up and at least walk, do something, right? Control the things that you can control. Like, my daughter's going through chemotherapy right now. I can't control that. I can only try to be here for her as much as I possibly can. That's what I can do. That's what I can control. There's so many things out of my control. So it's another one. All right, let's move on to number 5. Follows you into unrelated moments. So You have moments where you have no idea when it's going to hit you, when the PTSD is going to come back or not. I remember when my port was accessed, which is, I still have the scar from it. Obviously, my port was taken out about 4 years ago. It wasn't taken out immediately. Mine took a little bit longer to take out, but I remember that just the smell of alcohol, because of how much they would wipe the alcohol, that brought me back to every time that I had treatment. Imagine now sitting down, watching them do the same things that they did to me, to my daughter. Like, it just brings back everything all over again. And things that I forgot that happened, like my nails, they got black, so her nails were black. I'm in a community, Hodgkin's lymphoma community, and one of the girls posted the picture of her toes being really, really dark. Chemotherapy does that to you. And it was interesting because I forgot about that. I know that it happened, and I remember after she was asking me about it, but it's one of those things that I did forget, because I don't want to remember all the bad stuff. And there was a lot of bad stuff. And though, like I said, I was very positive through it all, and I got on here and I recorded and I do all these things, but that doesn't mean that I'm not hurting inside or that I'm not broken into pieces inside. It's just that I am strong, not perfect, but I'm a very strong personality. And I just, Dory, just keep swimming, just keep swimming. That's me. I just keep swimming, keep swimming. And there's other things that I don't even know if they're related or not, but my short-term memory is on the tanker. Like, I have to write absolutely like everything down because there's a lot of things that I don't remember. So, number 6, people expect you to be done and grateful and not to still be processing. Now, this one is an interesting one that I wrote it down because I remember, like, maybe a year or 2 years into being cancer free, someone was like, why you keep talking about it? Why you keep talking about it? Oh my God, here you go, talking about it again. And it's like, I'm sorry, but once you have cancer and you've gone through chemotherapy, whether it's the good cancer, because Hodgkin's lymphoma, they call it the good cancer. It's not good. It's still cancer. You're still processing. You're still going through chemotherapy. I still lost my hair. I'm still 6 years later dealing with side effects, long-term side effects from cancer, from chemo. Like, it's not just something that happens and then you just got treatment and you got better and you're all better and that's it. That's it. It's the end of it. Like, stop talking about it. Move on. And now I have to test my children. But there is no test for Hodgkin's lymphoma to find out if the children are going to have it or not. And they think it's more environmentally related than it is actually gene related. So it's not something that you're done. It's over. Stop talking about it because it's 6 years later and you're still talking about it. Yeah, and I'm going to still talk about it. Because maybe 10 years later, it's going to be some of the same side effects of, hey, my body's not the same anymore. Hey, I had something and it completely changed me. And it sucks. But there is people out there that are like, yeah, that's it. Like, stop talking about it. And I'm glad that I'm not done talking about it. I'm glad. I was looking at the message. I'm glad that I'm not done talking about it because you don't know. You don't know. So be kind to people. Just be kind. One sec. So I thought this was really interesting because this was given to me now that my daughter is going through Blood cancer, navigating life. During and after a blood cancer diagnosis. This says is for children and adolescents because obviously I am the mom of my daughter that is going through the same type of cancer that I did. And I spoke about it. So I'll link it in the description below. I did speak about that stuff. And I just think that it was like interesting and right on point with long-term and late effects. Long-term and late effects, right? Ay, Dios mío. The age, the treatment, long-term and late effects. That's what I'm trying to get to. Physical effects. Fatigue, neuropathy, nerve damage, heart disease, thyroid problems, organ damage like the lungs and kidneys, bone issues such as osteoporosis, secondary cancers, early or delayed puberty, fertility problems, and other conditions, as I stated. So, depression or symptoms of depression, it happens. Anxiety disorders, I have a lot of anxiety. I have PTSD from the military. I have PTSD because of this diagnosis, because of cancer. PTSD is another of the side effect. Like can you guys see this? I'm not making this up. I'm really not. And those people that want me to be quiet, sorry, I'm not listening anymore. I'm not quiet. I'm going to keep talking about it because this shit sucks. There is support. There is support out there. There is a lot of support. So I like to be positive. Strong, not perfect. I like to be positive. So we're going to stay with the positive. There is a lot of help out there. There is a lot of support groups out there. I learned a lot more of the support groups that are out there, especially for children with cancer. No child should be going through this situation. I think that I feel bad for the children that are going to it. I feel horrible for the parents that feel like me, like, what can we do? We can just be there for them and try to support them as much as we possibly can. This is not easy. It wasn't easy when I went through it as a cancer survivor. It's not easy now watching my daughter go through it. It's really hard. It's really tough. And just know that there is groups out there, that is support out there, that there's more good people than there is bad people, in my opinion, in the world. And cancer changes you for life, not just after you're done with treatment. Doesn't mean that your life is just going to go back to normal. It changes completely. There's long-term side effects. There is short-term side effects, and then there's long-term ones. And all you can do is just try your best to get better, to deal with the situation and whatever is in front of you, whether that is cancer or whatever. But still set goals, still try to move forward, still try to look at the bright side of life. At least that's what I like to do. I like to look at the bright side of life and see, where can this be better? How can I make this better? How can I focus on the positive? Now, just because I focus on the positive does not mean that I don't plan for the worst. I plan for the worst case scenario every single time. And my brain just goes through every single possible scenario you can think of so that I am ready for it. Does not mean that I want that outcome. It just means that I'm ready if it comes, but I'm going to focus on the positive. I'm going to have a plan for the shit hit the fan. And I'm going to focus on, okay, if the shit hits the fan, at least we have a fan. That is what I like to do. I like to focus on the positive, but plan for the absolute worst. Because you just, again, you never know. So hopefully you guys took away from this that you don't have to be perfect to live life, to go through it. Just go through it. There's only one life. Life is too short. So just keep swimming. Just keep swimming. Like I just keep telling people, everybody calls me and they ask me, how you doing? I'm okay. You know, I found the answer every time somebody asks me, how are you? How are you feeling? My answer is I've seen better days because I have. And that doesn't mean that every single day is bad. We have good days, we have bad days. There's days that I'm like in my bed, and my husband can attest, all day, and I don't feel like getting out of bed. And I only get out of bed to make sure that the kids ate, that they were fed, ate, fed, they sleep. Was pooping happening? Pooping is a thing. Constipation is a thing, especially if you're going through chemotherapy. You should know. The medication for my daughter, did I administer it? Did I have to give her some medication? Whatever the case is, like, just the things that I have to do have to get done. Outside of that, if I'm having a bad day and I need the day to just rest and do nothing, I try to be in bed and be a couch potato or a bed potato, mainly bed potato, as much as I can if that's what I need. Because again, not every day is bad, but not every day is sunshine and rainbows and I'm just having a good old grand time. That's not how it works. So hopefully you took something out of this, and I plan on doing more lives like this. Just let me know what you guys would like me to cover in this season of my life, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.